honestly, this notion that all MPs are in it for themselves, they're all the same. Honestly, spend a day in their bloody shoes doing what they do. It's offensive. The woman never stops. Honestly, Stella Creasy, she's at work at 11 o'clock at night. Obviously, so the people that work for her. But it never stops, whether it's campaigning.
Do you know, that's a great point as well, because the recess, and I've been guilty of this, having a cheap shot because of the length of the holidays, we call them, don't we? But they're not holidays a lot of the time. The constituency work continues, even when Parliament isn't sitting.
Yes, absolutely. Calls all hours of the day that have to be dealt with, especially during the evacuation of Afghanistan, for example. Gosh. My daughter was working all hours, and so was Stella, and they cared so deeply about trying to, help the people who were in a life or death situation. And, it could be that, or it could be helping, someone with mental health difficulties. These people, the good MPs, and there are many of them across all the parties, they are in it for totally the right reasons, and they are passionate, and they care about the people that they work for.
That's
and the people they work for are their constituents. Yeah.
I wanted to praise somebody who gets a really bad press and has done for a very, very long time. My local MP, who's Diane Abbott.
Oh, yes.
Years ago, it was when we still had the poll tax and not the council tax.
Oh, yeah.
And I was paying, I always did. I've never been in debt with anybody. I kept getting letters from them saying that I owed money I hadn't paid for such a long time. And I hadn't. I was phoning them, sending letters to them. Sorry?
Scary, that, isn't it?
It was. And it got to the stage when I actually had bailiffs turn up on my doorstep. And if it wasn't for the fact that my mum lived with us and she was in a wheelchair with MS and she wheeled herself to the door, that they saw her and felt sorry for us. And they said, look, I'll give you a few days to try and sort this out and we might come back. So I got in touch with Diane, and within 2 hours, I actually got a phone call from the council to say it's okay, it's all been sorted out, we've checked our records and you're right, you don't owe us anything. I just think when I hear all these things that people say about her, I get so annoyed because she's such a nice person. She actually lived near me for a long time, and I used to see her in the street and talk to her. And she's such a nice person. And the reason why I know she says these stupid things sometimes, but she suffers from diabetes, and I know because diabetes is in my family. Yeah. And if you don't eat properly, or your sugar levels go up to a ridiculous level, and although you might feel well, you start saying silly things. I know it from people in my family.
Yeah, I've heard this before, actually, and that might explain why she had that moment on Nick's show.
She can't add up things, and it's put on the spot, and her sugar levels are rising, and the more stressed you are, the worse it gets. So she's obviously stressed so that she can't, add up something or think of something properly, and it makes it in a worse situation in the first place. And people just think that she's some idiot, and she's not. And she really does help the people of the area.
Well, I think you've just done I'd say 85% tribute.